Hello and welcome back to everyone that has been following this series. For anyone that's new to my channel and doesn't know who I am, well, my name is Jutin Al Ahmed and I've been conducting research by investing £100 or equivalent into Bitcoin since May 2024. The research is based upon what would happen if I invested £100 or equivalent into Bitcoin rather than the norm that society does, which is investing into a pension pot. Well, do watch my introductory video from May 2024 to gain a better understanding of the research that is currently being conducted. Anyways, let's not further delay and let's see what's happening to my Bitcoin investment. Has it gone up or has it gone down? Let's find out. Just before we jump in, just a quick disclaimer. I, Jutin Al Ahmed J bin Zala, I am no tax advisor, no legal advisor, no financial advisor, no registered advisor, no such thing. So do your own research. Yeah, let's get straight into it. Hello everyone. Sorry for the late video. Sorry for updating you all 8 days later than expected. I've just been super busy. Anyways, let's get straight into it rather than wasting your time. So I'm actually going to show you screenshots because obviously the purchase has already been made, etc. And I'm just going to show you exactly how much I had. So on my Strike account, I got 518,705 sats. The purchase was 192,515 in March. And obviously the April video hopefully will be out at the end of this month. But yeah, so £100 bought 192,515 sats at the price of £51,944. On that day that I took the screenshot, the value was actually depreciated by 2.47% to £97.53. Obviously it's increased again. We'll come to that anyways. And that was done on the 4th of March, as you saw there. Let's come on to how much already I have stacked in the 10-year DCA. So 3,130,729 sats is in cold storage. So if we add that all up, we get to 3,649,434 sats. It's totally stacked right now. Obviously there's more now because I've already made another purchase. But yeah, hopefully we're trying to get to 0.1 Bitcoin if possible within the 10-year period. I don't know if that will be possible. I'd be really happy to even get to 0.078-ish. I think we can get to 0.05 by hopefully the end of this year or something. And obviously it should decrease in amount of accumulation from later on, right? Anyway, let's go into the actual data. Just before we do consider following me on Nostra, on Primal. I'm actually coming off X and stuff now because I saw a post recently regarding some guy that got demonetized and stuff. Nostra is fully decentralized. Nobody can block you or stop you from posting whatever you want to post. So yeah, do consider following me on that. I'm going to start posting more on there rather than X and stuff like that. Obviously I'm on YouTube and Rumble. That's primarily where I put my videos up and stuff. Anyways, do check that out. So yeah, let's go into the analysis of what's been happening over the last 24 to 90 days. So 24 hours to 90 days. So the current value of this stack, right? If we just click here. So that's month 23, that's 2,300 and saying 1 pence, but obviously there's a bit of a difference here. £2,300 that I've put in so far. The value is at £1,937 right now. Over the last 7 days, it did go to 1,800 and it did go back to 1,982-ish. Obviously, I'm down now by 15.77%, as we can see. Let's refresh that. No, it's still 15.77%. Let's look at the last 30 days. It was around 2,000 and then obviously it's gone down. Last 90 days, it was around in January £2,600 and it's gone down. So that was up by £300. And if we look at all-time high 3.2k, that's already what, another, let's say £900 to £960 more than how much I've already put in. Let's go into the stats here. So I'm holding £1,937 and 29 pence worth of Bitcoin in fiat terms. The cost base is 2,300 and 1 pence. Just ignore the one for now. I'll correct that. And then the average buy price is £63,006.84. All-time profit is at a loss right now at £362.71 if I were to sell and liquidate my Bitcoin, which won't ever happen, inshallah. Anyways, that's where that DCA is at right now. Let's go on to looking at trading view. That was the head and shoulders back then. I'm deleting that now because obviously a lot of time has gone past since we did that. Is it going back up? Listen, there's been wars going on. There's a lot of news regarding that. There's a lot of FUD out there as well that Bitcoin's going to zero. How can that even happen? There's I think 106 million people that hold Bitcoin, which out of the 8 billion population, that's a small percentage. And we can go into the actual percentages of, if you're a whole coiner, for example, how wealthy you will be in the future. The aim for everybody should be to try and get to a whole coin before the next 10 years is up, because after that it's just going to be too difficult for normal people to get to one whole coin. It's going to be the same as you buying a property outright in the UK. Okay, unless you're wealthy, you won't be able to do that, especially if you're just on an average salary. Anywho, is it going to go back up? It looks like that it's stopping here. I was hoping that it goes around there. It's probably not gonna. I was saying that it probably will, but I don't. Do you know what? Every time I say it's gonna happen, it doesn't. So let's say it's not gonna happen, and then hopefully it does and fills all my buy orders well. But it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. Fact is, if you're just accumulating and DCAing like this research project is trying to display out here, you're going to win regardless. For example, I'm always in profit in Bitcoin. Hopefully you guys already know that. Or if you didn't, you should know now. I've always been in profit in Bitcoin since last few years, really, since the last cycle, basically. So it doesn't matter. Let's go on to checking. Quickly, let's go on to Crypto Bubble. I don't really like Crypto Bubble because it shows other crap coins. But just to give you a visual perspective, Bitcoin is at 4% up right now. Today, obviously, it dominates everything. Yearly, it's apparently down. I don't know what these are. These are all crap coins. If these don't have real life utilities, this is all gambling. Okay, so I don't recommend you ever buy any of these coins. Literally, Bitcoin is money, in my opinion. So you're gonna, once it's legal tender, you're gonna be able to transact with that. So why would you not want to save up and have money? That's how I see it. Anywho, let's go on to CoinGlass. So this is interesting. So January, February was down. This is actually very interesting because I'm pretty sure March didn't end in a positive. But it's saying that it did with a 1.81% increase. April, we're around 5% up right now. Is it going to continue like that? So these 5% are really small. Obviously, in terms of value of how much it was like in 2021, etc. 10% to 100,000, 10,000, 10% to 6,000, only 6,000, right? So it's a £4,000 difference or $4,000 difference. So that 5%, it's not really much on these lower values. A 5% increase when it's $1 million, right? That 5% is much higher than what it is now in the terms of fiat value. Is it just going to be greens? It probably will be. Look, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Anybody that's giving you TA and technical analysis and saying, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen, this is what the psychology behind it. Listen, there is a lot of psychology behind all of this. That's how the market moves. It looks like it's going up. Simple as. Will it go down? I don't know. I am really hoping for, it does one of those spike drops and then it just goes all the way back up. So the reason I want a spike drop is because I'm accumulating sats and I just want my buy orders to be filled. Now, you might be like, oh, why don't I just buy? I do buy. That's the thing, right? I'm always buying. So it's not for me personally, it's just filling an order that I've got a larger sum of fiat that I want to convert to Bitcoin. So realistically, as I would always recommend, just DCA daily if you can, or monthly. If you, statistically, I think monthly is better because of how explosive Bitcoin is. So DCAing monthly, even hourly if you want. I've done that and stuff. But at least once a month, that's the idea, and that's the whole idea of this whole project, right? Just to see how much it gets to over the 10-year period, and just to see if, as it is the best performing asset, does it continue to be? For me, as I said, it doesn't even matter if it continues to be and stuff. You might think I'm a maxi here by saying that because I'm just solely Bitcoin. The whole point here is you can transact with its money. At one point, the volatility will decrease and everybody will be using Bitcoin. I don't agree with this, by the way, but I'm gonna mention it here. Actually, I'll mention it when we talk about what's happened over the month, which is now, funnily enough, because I've covered all of this. So yeah, basically, Bitcoin, there's a company. I'm not gonna even promote who and stuff because at the end of the day, I don't agree with interest and riba, which is basically interest. But basically, they're allowing you to take out mortgages with Bitcoin soon. I don't agree with mortgages unless it's Sharia compliant, which basically means that you're not getting ripped off and you're paying back a set value which is set rather than the interest fluctuating. And if you can't pay that back, it's game over, right? You don't know how much you're actually going to be paying back and you're not able to plan how you're going to pay it back. So yeah, but for the vast majority of people which are in mortgages. Um, this is something that's coming to everybody. I believe it's, don't quote me on this, but it might be approved. Just check it out, Google it, because I don't want to promote uh, mortgages and stuff. I don't agree with it. I think it's a way to keep people in poverty. It's a way to extort the poor. It's a way to extort people and the banks to win because there's nothing good with a mortgage when you can just buy a property outright, save up as a family, maybe even if say you are poor and you're saving up as a family, you can buy something outright rather than a bank saying, do you know what, I think that property, even though it's worth 150,000, if I give you the product of a mortgage, you can buy it for 500,000 and I'll lend you the money and you pay me back for the rest of your life, and when you sell it, you're going to break even. Anyways, I don't want to go too much into that because at the end of the day, I don't agree with mortgages. But yeah, it's coming to the world. And this is what I was saying from quite a while before, the fact that it's just going to become normalized. Already in the UAE, for example, you can buy property with Bitcoin. In El Salvador, it's legal tender. It's going to be legal tender soon in the UK, I believe. In the US, every government's trying to get some Bitcoin. They're trying to accumulate. So it's just a no-brainer now. Like I've been saying this for like past 2 years. Imagine next month's video or the video at the end of this month. It's going to be what 24 months, 2 years of actually doing this DCA project. That's insane. 2 years, right? Anyways, let's go back onto what's been happening over the month. It's all based upon this war, right? This war has, it's been insane that Donald Trump's messages, what he's been saying, and all the stupidity, in my opinion. There's no peace that's happening. This is what's fluctuating it. I am starting to personally believe that they. Do you remember there was a war like a couple of months ago, I believe, or maybe a year ago, where they literally said that they're starting war and then they stopped it within a day or something, and the markets just went crazy, fluctuated. I made a video on that as well. But yeah, do you know what? Ignore all this FUD. If you want generational wealth, just keep on stacking. And by the time you retire, if you're around 30 years old, by the time you retire, you're going to be very wealthy. And at that point, you could potentially put your Bitcoin for collateral and take out what 0% interest, right? So a fixed rate, 0% to buy stuff and then just pay that back, which should be compliant with, obviously I'm Muslim, so I follow Sharia. So, but yeah, think about these products that will be coming. There's going to be, so any of my Muslim viewers that are watching this, there's going to be products in the future where which is Sharia compliant, which will allow you to put your Bitcoin up for collateral. There will be companies that do this because the world is going to that. Over the next 100 years, Bitcoin will be fully mined. 114 years. This is also another interesting fact. Just recently, 20 million Bitcoin have been fully mined now. So there's 1 million left, and that 1 million is going to take 114 years to mine. Okay, that's just a bit of knowledge for you regarding Bitcoin itself. I'm sure you already know about it, or if you're new to this whole space, there's a 21 million Bitcoin cap inflation set of how it's going to go. It's all mathematical. That's the beauty of it. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed looking at the statistics and what's basically been happening over the last month, and my stack that I'm accumulating slowly but surely. Obviously, it's down in fiat right now, but does that matter? No, because we're stacking sats. That's the main thing here. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do pop a thumbs up. Follow me on Rumble. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe, and please do check out my Nostra and get on that really, because you don't really want to be censored over silly stuff just because of your opinion. Obviously, hopefully your opinion isn't crazy, but like at the end of the day, everybody has the freedom of expression and voice, right? You shouldn't be cruel to others and put people down and stuff, but at the end of the day, you should be able to not be oppressed and silenced, basically. Anyways, lastly, let's not forget, together, let's break free from the shackles of modern slavery. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.